Welcome to the Costa Property Podcast, the podcast that turns your dreams of owning a piece of paradise on the Costa del Sol into reality.
I'm Wendell Laurie, and I'm joined by my co-host and wife, Sandra Laurie.
If you're dreaming of your perfect Costa del Sol home, wondering where to start, and want to get real, no-frills expert advice, then you're absolutely in the right place.
Bienvenido, welcome everyone to the Costa Property Podcast. Today's special guest, we have Pablo, and we're going to be speaking about all the different types of mortgages that you can get in Spain. But before we get right into the episode, we have to do the Spanish word of the day. Is everyone ready? Let's hear the drum roll. Today's Spanish word is hipoteca. And hipoteca means mortgages. Okay, guys, let's get into the episode now. Today, I have Pablo from Habeno Mortgages. How are you, Pablo?
Good morning, Warren and everyone. I'm fine, really good. Another great day in Costa del Sol. I have to say that I'm so grateful to could participate in this podcast. So I hope we could help to all of the listeners that are looking for buying a piece of the sunshine in Costa del Sol.
Fantastic. So before we start, just tell us a little bit about you, Pablo.
Well, I'm Pablo Cacase. I'm 33 years old. I'm from Spain. I have to say that I'm the only one from Spain working in Habeno, which is a pleasure for me. I'm the head of mortgage advisor, and I'm managing also business development. I work in Habeno, which I would like to introduce a little bit more. We are a fintech company, Swedish company, that we are developing technology to improve the mortgage process in Spain and Portugal. Our focus and core business are regular mortgages, but we like to help everyone that would need financing.
Okay, fantastic. And when were you established and where are you based, Pablo?
Okay, we are established in Marbella. We have two offices. Our main office is in Stockholm, where we develop technology. And then we have like our operational office in Marbella, in the Golden Mile, in Oasis Business Center, office 6.3. For everyone who would love to come, they are invited. We have great coffee, and it will be people from, I would say, all around the world. We're working for around two years and 4 months, something like that. So the adventure started for the two founders. They are Swedish. They came to Spain. Well, they came exactly to Marbella. They realized that this is a great place to live in. There are much more here, so they could enjoy a lot of more. And they realized that they wanted to buy a property here, and it was so difficult for foreigners. Me being Spanish and working for more than 7 years in financing, I have to say that it is so difficult because there are many branch offices all around Spain that they don't even know that they can grant mortgages for foreigners. So I would say this is a market which is really good to have a proper advice and someone who could take care of you, especially coming from another country, which I would say there are different completely worlds for everything, especially buying a property or bank system.
And who would you say is your most common customer coming through to buy properties in the Costa del Sol?
Well, Warner, this is a question I really like because I cannot provide you just one answer. I think this is the good of our service because we like to help everyone. So I have to say that we don't have just one kind of profile. Our main customer, I would divide it maybe in 3 different kind of customer, or maybe even 4. So we have like the regular customer employee who wants to buy a second property or wants to move to Spain. And then we have like the business owner who have 1 or 2 companies, and we have to go into their companies to check income, expense, and the feasibility. Then we have also a big business owner where they have holdings and several companies. And also we have the kind of customer who wants to self-construct. So I would say that we help all of them. I cannot tell you like our main customer is one because we have all those four kind of customers.
Okay, fantastic. So a wide variety of customers. Obviously, I'm in the real estate business myself. So when people ask me what type of people are coming to buy the Costa del Sol, I can't really give them an answer because it's been so popular in the last couple of years that every nationality is coming to the Costa del Sol. So it's great. When you get the customer through, what kind of support do you help them with?
Well, the most important thing that we are a mortgage broker company, but this is our main service. What we like to provide is an added value, which I think the most important is the proper information and safety. Safety not only for our customer, also for our partners, because this process, the process of buying a property is so emotional. It could take a bit longer here in Spain, and it is so important. So proper information on how everything works and security.
Fantastic. I know from the customers that I've recommended to Habeno mortgages myself, they've said it's so easy. The application and the service has been like VIP service. They were very happy with it. And in Habeno mortgages, the staff that you have, how many languages do they speak?
Well, I would say that we speak more than 8 languages because we have here, English for sure, Italian, Swedish, we're a Swedish company, we have Portuguese, we have German, we have Polish, we have Dutch, we have Russian, and I have to say that from the last year, 2023, we helped more than 20 different countries. So we always try to find the solution. We will speak later about that because the Bank of Spain blocked some countries, but we try to find a way to help everyone.
Fantastic. How many banks are you working with to get the best offers for the clients?
Well, we work with 11 banks, I would say main banks in Spain. We don't just provide the mortgage, as I say, we provide information, provide security. We like to be in the middle point of everyone, helping for everything. And another of the a part of the service is like we provide a benchmarking. So we used to provide 3 or 4 best offer, and we explain to the customer so they can make a comparison. And it is not just the same as we spoke. So we try to be tailor-made.
Are you seeing any trends in the property market as now of different of the countries most looking to buy in Spain?
It is difficult to answer because I would say that it's changing every couple months. But from the last year, I would say like our main customer could be from Netherlands, United States, Sweden, UK, a bit of everything or everywhere.
We are seeing a lot of, from my own business, Eastern Europeans looking to purchase a property here as well. Do you do mortgages for the Eastern Europeans as well? Have you got people in your office like for Poland or Hungary?
Well, this is not depending on us. For every mortgage advisor is going to be the same because we are regulated by Bank of Spain. We have a problem since beginning of last year when Bank of Spain blocked certain currencies. Nowadays, for instance, in Eastern countries, we can work with Polish. Then we don't have a problem. For the rest of Eastern countries, if they have the euro currency, we don't have a problem. But if they keep their currencies, then we have a problem and we cannot grant a mortgage. For now, I hope that the situation will change and the trend will completely change because before February 2023, we could help all of them. But due to the instability with the war, the inflation, Bank of Spain decided to block for a while those kind of currencies.
Okay. Do you see the impact of the interest rate when it rises? Is there an impact? Is that coming to Spain? A lot of people, like my clients, ask me, how does the mortgage rate compare to, say, somewhere like the United Kingdom?
Yes. Well, for last year, we experienced like a huge change. I would say 180 degrees for what we were used to in the last 8 years and what we are now. I felt that we already touched let's say, the rooftop of that increasing in the interest rate. We are feeling signs 3 months ago that it's decreasing already. And the expectation that I have for 2024, it's quite good. We have some forecast of the economy that we like to share with our customer always, so for them to be also knowing about how it will be the forecast. I would say that we still having the lower interest rate in comparison with the rest of the countries.
If you had a crystal ball, what would you say would be the future in the next 12 months?
Well, first of all, in Costa del Sol regarding real estate, you know better than me, we have a trend that never stop growing. Prices never goes down. It's always increasing, which is really good. And regarding mortgages, I'm really optimistic with this year because we starting feeling like good decreases in interest rate. Everything looks like the trend is going to remain that way. Inflation, it's almost controlled, but we never know when something hard could happen. Again, I hope no. I hope everything is established and everything will be good. So I think the trend is like interest will go down. The Euribor, it will keep decreasing, and it will be cheaper to get a mortgage. Right now, it is a great moment, I think, for those people that are a little bit risky to go for a variable mortgage, because now we can get like a great spread, so low, and that will be really profitable in a couple of years.
And what advice would you give to our listeners who are looking to obtain a mortgage right now in Spain?
Well, so in Spain, we have like 3 different mortgage possibilities. And not all of kind of mortgages will be offered for all of the profile. So everything, it will depend on the profile. But in an overall, we have like variable mortgages, which you have the first year a fixed rate. For 12 months, you will pay always the same interest. Then you have an update every 12 months, where for the next 12 months, you will pay the same. So in this case of variable, first year will be fixed, which could be now around 3% for the first year. The next year will be variable depending on Euribor plus and a spread, which we can now something around Euribor plus 1, sometimes Euribor plus 0.25. And then we have like hybrid mortgages, call it mixed in Spain, where you can have a fixed interest rate for 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years, and then we'll turn to variable. In that case, let's say for a 5-year fix, we can get around 3.25, and then Euribor plus 1.2, something like that. And then we have like the fixed mortgage, which could be now between 3.75 or 4%, where you will always pay the same amount. There is something that all of the mortgages in Spain come with different products, where if you contract those products, you will get discount. The rates that I just told you are taking into account those discounts. Those discounts could be home insurance, which is an obligation in Spain always when you have a mortgage on the property. Life insurance that will cover the amount of the mortgages just in case. Then we could have different other products that could be like health insurance, which is really good, for instance, for people who are going to move to Spain. It could be around 60 to 80 euros per month, and they will have cover for everything at the hospital and dentist. And it could have also an alarm system. Depending on the bank and the offer, it will come with different possibilities.
Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, listening to that, you've got a wide variety of mortgage types that, that would suit everybody, where you're a buy-to-let investor or where you're relocating to Spain. It sounds as if you have, different types of mortgages to suit different buyers, which is great. Because I know in the old times, the people would have to apply for the bank. There would just be one bank. So it's really great. And that we have a system now where Habeno Mortgages, where you click a link, you put your information in, and then you get contacted by one of your sales representatives. And, they tailor-make the mortgage to suit the client. So I think that's very, obviously, with the world being technologically, it's a great way to find out, can I buy in Spain? Will I get a mortgage in Spain? And what documents and everything that I need to have in place so that I can get approval.
One of the things, our technology already, what we develop, the customer will go into the website, habeno.com. They will fulfill an application. With that application, we will get the same scoring that the bank will provide them if they go to a branch office. Exactly the same. For sure, the information must be accurate. If the information is accurate, the result will be accurate. It is free. We only charge if we get the mortgage approved and they accept the terms and conditions and they want to move ahead. And the great thing is that we've been working, it is not a long time, but I think our trend was super fast and good. So we are working really, really connecting with the banks internally. So with some banks, we jump over the branch office. We work directly internally with the bank. So we've got, depending on the kind of mortgage, to really speed up the process. For like a regular profile employee, we can get an approval from the risk department between 3 and 5 days. For a business owner, depending on the size of the company, let's say something between, for a regular business owner, around 1 week, 10 days, and for a huge company, between 15 or 20, which is super fast in comparison with if you go directly to the bank.
Yeah, so that's great, because obviously everything now is moving online. You can go to Amazon, you can buy your shopping, and now you can get the information and buy a mortgage where you're pre-approved. So that's great to know that. So the clients, before they can come to Spain, they go to your website, they fill in the application, and then they'll know by the time they land in Spain how much they're allowed to get, when the mortgage is pre-approved, and the interest rate, everything that basically includes with the mortgage. I think that's amazing, especially for me as a real estate agent. I just tell them, look, go onto my website, click the link, and, and the feedback has been absolutely fantastic, because that person now knows, this is the amount that I can do to buy a property. And then we can actually tailor make the properties to suit. So like most of the time when clients talk to me, they always say, what do I need to do in regards to buying a property? I always tell them preparation is everything. Find a lawyer, find a good agent, and now find a mortgage if you need finance. And for people that think, I don't want to get the mortgage, it's a really good way of saying, okay, well, this might work out. They might be buy-to-let investors that are looking for a return with that, but obviously maybe wanted to spread and buy like 1 or 2 properties instead of buying one. So that's a good option as well. And what can our listeners do to start getting prepared just now? What kind of documentation do they need?
First of all, what I would recommend them is to go to the website, fill the form. They will receive the information and they will see. After that, they will receive a call from our customer support team. And the first documentation, we're trying to do everything so simple. What we want is to make that process as smooth and easy as possible for everyone. So the first document that we will require to verify is the last 3 tax declaration, the credit report, and depending of the country, if the credit report doesn't include the amount of this installment, so we will require the last monthly receipt per every financial commitment. With financial commitment, what we take into consideration are mortgages or loans.
Okay, so the mortgages and loans that they have in their own country could affect what finance that they can get in Spain. Is that correct?
Exactly. Why that? Because as I said at the beginning, we used to work with all of the countries. We specialize in foreigners. We don't do resident. We do 100% people from abroad. So we're specialists in all of the countries, the different documentation. What happened with the rest of the country? Let's say that every country is a different world, and especially in financing. For instance, the comparison between the UK and Spain, it's crazy. United States and Spain, it's completely the opposite. What happened here? We regulated for Bank of Spain. Since the crash that we had in 2008, it was a hard regulation. So now what we need to calculate is the debt to income ratio. What is the debt to income ratio? The debt to income ratio, it is the affordability for the customer to granted certain amount of mortgage. We calculate it with the average of the 3 last years regular income. With that, we need to take into consideration maximum of 35%, and of that 35%, we have to rest the amount, total amount that they have every month in financial commit. With the rest of the amount, this is the maximum quota that a customer could afford for a Spanish financing. Why that? Because after the crash of 2008, the Bank of Spain considered that maximum that you can have as a financial commitment among all of the countries and all of your debts, it is 35%, because you need to keep another 35% for living and the rest for hobbies or if something wrong happened.
A lot of questions that I asked with my clients as well is, what percentage can the maximum percentage can a non-resident that wants to buy a holiday home get in a mortgage in Spain?
Okay, so well, I'm going to start as always in Spain. It depends. And overall, the maximum what we can get is 70%. 70% of the purchase price. There is something that this is something we like to explain to all of the customer at the beginning of the process. Here we're going to have 2 different processes. One is the process of the purchase, which have certain costs related that are the obligation of the customer to pay. Those costs are not covered by the mortgage. Then we have the second process, which is the mortgage. In the mortgage, same in both processes, which are notary, register, administration fee, and taxes. For the mortgage side, the bank has the obligation to pay all of them. For the purchase side, the customer have the obligation to pay. What happened with the mortgage? We can get a maximum of 70% of just the purchase price, not including those costs. So the customer must be aware that they're gonna need to have in savings that 30% plus around 12% or 15% if it's a new property in saving. So for a customer to afford a purchase, they need to take into consideration around 42% in savings of the property price. And then we can finance 70% of the property price.
Okay, that's really helpful information. The Costa del Sol is in a boom stage at the moment with a lot of new developments popping up. Habeno launched a product this year. It was actually for new development mortgages. Can you explain a bit more about that? Obviously, when it's in construction, how can you value it? How do those mortgages work, Pablo?
Yes, we have realized that there was a lack of help in those kind of product on the market, and we receive a lot of application about it. Also for our partner, I think it's good to have everything under control because a lot of things can happen meanwhile a construction is done. So we decided to set up the product of the off-plan. The off-plan product is the product where we provide help and support to our customer from the moment when they reserve the property. So what we do is that from the moment when the customer find an off-plan property, they fill the application, they contract our service. This service, it's only 695 euros prepayment. And why that? Because we are going to take care of them from the moment when they reserve until the completion. We will make the analysis, we will make the study, and it could happen two things to move forward. One is that, okay, everything is fine right now, but we need to keep that profile in the same way that we have already. So every 3 months, we will have a conversation with the customer. We will advise him. We will ask how their situation is for the mortgage to keep being approved and not having any problem. We could have also the possibility, maybe the customer is not feasible in this moment, but we can help them advising how we can make them being feasible. So we will help them, for instance, okay, you are business owner, so maybe you need to get for the next 2 years certain amount on dividends. We will take care of them, making the profile being feasible for the moment of the completion.
Okay, that's a fantastic, because a lot of people, that they're coming to buy. There's so many buyers there and not a lot of sales. So a lot of people are actually turning to new developments and putting their money into new developments, whether they be, 2 or 3 years build time with it. So I think it's ease of mind for them to know that the property that they're buying, they can get the finance in order to buy it. Because what we don't want to do is 2 or 3 years down the line, when they go to purchase the property or pay the 70%, they can't afford that. And then obviously they would have to resell the property, or they would have to, it had to go back on the market. It's a really good idea and very forward thinking. I don't think I've heard of any other companies doing this type of mortgage. Is there any traps that buyers can fall into in regards to the getting mortgages in Spain?
Well, the advice, for instance, we're a Swedish company and they're not used to that because everything is digital. But for every customer, I would say, be prepared to gather a bunch of documents. We try to require everything just at once at the first time, but sometimes it could be tricky and the bank could or update the document if we have some delay, but I would say that.
And Habeno mortgages, it's not just for overseas buyers. Is it for the people that are actually living in Spain at the moment? Can they come to you as well?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It is for everyone. We're mortgage advisor. We not close our door for nothing. But I have to say that 99.5% we work for foreigners. If they're working outside of Spain or if they work in Spain, most of our customers are from people from different nationalities.
Excellent. And is there anything else that you want to say in regards to the mortgage situation in Spain at the moment? Or are you confident that the foreigners will keep on coming and buying the properties in Spain?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because after COVID, I think when everyone can work remotely, people will keep coming here and moving down to Spain. So I'm really confident that this 2024 will be a great year for our market.
And the final question that we always ask for listeners is, what do you love most about Spain?
Well, I'm from here, and I have to say that I live abroad in different countries, also in Asia and the States. So it's the environment. I cannot say one thing, but it's like everything together, like people behavior, the sunny gastronomy. It's really good. Prices for sure. Everything live is quite cheap in comparison to everyone, and peaceful.
Fantastic. Yeah, we totally feel the same. I'm Scottish, my wife's Irish, but we just love living in Spain. You know, obviously when the sunshine 325 days a year, everybody's happy. And, you know, all the fiestas, celebrating the Spanish culture. It's just amazing. And can you tell the listeners, how do we contact Habeno Mortgages?
You can reach us for our website. That would be the main place, habeno.com. Then we are also in Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So where it would be more comfortable or easy for the listeners, but habeno.com, it's super easy. You just have to fill the form, then you will receive a pre-approval. So it is super easy. In less than 5 minutes, if the information is accurate, you can have your pre-approval for a mortgage in Spain. And if they active in less than a week, they can get their mortgage 100% approved in Spain. So they are one step ahead to come to the Sunshine Paradise.
Fantastic. And you can also click the link on my website, www.wlcostaproperties.net, and that will take you straight through to Habeno Mortgages as well. Well, Pablo, thank you for coming on the Costa Property Podcast. It's been great listening to everything around about mortgages, and I hope our listeners and you get more clients coming to this beautiful country to buy some properties.
Thank you so much, Warner. It was a huge pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening into today's episode on the Costa Property Podcast. Another fantastic episode learning about the highs and lows of relocating to the Costa del Sol from real people who have been through the journey themselves, and of course our wonderful experts. If you have been enjoying the show so far, remember to hit subscribe to the podcast and leave a rating or review.
We absolutely love hearing your thoughts. Please send any questions that you would like us to answer on the show to warner@wlcostaproperties.net, or you can pop us a message on our socials, which are in the show notes. Remember, you can also visit the website www.wlcostaproperties.net.
See you on the next episode, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.